skin now, as we're actually right now is the worst part of the year. When we go from summer to fall, that's when there's some people, maybe if I only see them once a year, that's when I'm going to see them. They're like, I don't know what's happening with my face.
Because the damaged skin from the sun?
It's some of that. It's the transition from humid air to dry air, or like if people are breakout prone, that seems to be the time when they have this transition seems to affect them the most. So yes, seasonal facials are great. And the reason, so our skin actually turns over about every 6 weeks. That's why I like the 6-week facial for myself. But if you're doing once a quarter, you're getting every other skin cycle. So now you're hitting it every other time, and then seasonal change it does have a big effect on the skin.
It's also important, and this is, I was talking with our dermatologist that comes in every Monday, and she was looking forward to seeing your show, because you really kind of work hand in hand with them, right? It is, what are we doing on a daily basis to take care of our skin before we go in and get the facials? Because it really is this combination of the people that you're working with to say, well, what are you doing when you're not here?
Yes, absolutely. Because we could do the best services of all time, and if you don't put anything on your face or even wash it, then you're not going to maintain very well. Fun fact, there's data that shows even just washing your face twice a day instead of once a day can reduce your aging.
Why are you not doing this? Right? So it's the same thing as brushing your teeth. All the things that you're supposed to be doing. And if you're suddenly asking for someone to just magically, wave this wand and then give you this skin, it can't happen. You're speaking my language, because it's the same thing when someone gains weight.
Working out, yes.
Right? 10 years, you've put all this weight on. You can't ask me to help you take it off in a week's time to get ready for some big event.
Exactly.
It is on a daily basis, practicing. If you have any questions for Jennifer, we're going to take another break. Drop them in right now. Again, Elemental Esthetics. It's our first chance to introduce you to Jennifer, and we're going to be covering a lot of topics over the next several months. But we would love for you to make your appointment and get in. If you have put it on the back burner, now it's time for you to bring it to the front. ElementalAesthetics.com. And thank you again to Hannah at home dropping in the comments for us. And there it is on the screen for you. 314-279-6069. I want to thank Jennifer and Liz and her staff for providing some videos. We're going to show you some more of their services when we return. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out. And I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hand and thinking hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
So our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
Welcome back, 7:45. Jennifer was just commenting that she knows Amy.
Yeah.
So Amy Post and you used to work kind of hand in hand?
Yeah, she's absolutely a lovely person.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
And her story. So let's go ahead and give her a plug. Her book, if you haven't read it, is Out of the Gray into the Light. She also has a hope and advocacy podcast that we had to reschedule because, again, things still going on with her daughter. I will be on that show coming up in October. We'll let you know more about that. You have a podcast also.
I do. I have a podcast. It's called Beyond the Mirror. And we talk about we talk about beauty, but we also really talk about health and wellness and, again, a lot of the things that you love.
And she did it with a friend of hers with a martini.
I did. We did a fashion show with a martini.
I want to do that with you. Let's do that. I'll bring the wine.
I make a really good martini.
Okay, never mind. I want martinis. What's your favorite martini?
I actually am...
Just straight martini?
I like a regular martini with 3 olives.
Blue cheese stuffed olives?
I'm so funny. I don't
Oh, you don't like blue cheese?
I do like blue cheese, but I don't know if I like them in the olives.
You don't think they go together? We're visiting with Jennifer Warmann-Bloss. We said, I have to thank Michelle, by the way. So Michelle Harmon, part of my incredible growing team, she was at our Adventure Unknown broadcast, and Michelle and Jennifer started talking, and when she mentioned the word real and natural, she's like, wait a minute, you need to talk to Monica. You two are definitely aligning. And that's really what started this beautiful collaboration. So we've got some questions coming in. I also want to, as we do this, we can show some of the services, many services that they have at Elemental Esthetics. So people asking questions, go ahead and drop those in. Let's see. Do you still offer microdermabrasion? I am looking for this service for my face and body.
So we not only have microdermabrasion, but we have the next generation of microdermabrasion, which is called the Oxygeneo.
Oh.
So that uses that same crystal technology. However, the head of the device is infused with CO2, which makes you make oxygen, which helps pop out fine lines and wrinkles. And that one's amazing. So we do that microderm in the beginning of that one. And then the second half of it, we mix you a cocktail of serums.
A martini.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
And we use ultrasound to infuse. So the Oxygeneo is so we have regular microdermabrasion, just like
you still
forever.
do that.
And then we have this alternative, which is like kind of the next level of that, called Oxygeneo. And then we do the ultrasound infusion, and that's a beautiful service.
Oxygeneo. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the one I want, because we're trying to think of what's the first service that I want to come straight out of the gate and do. Would you recommend that one first?
It's a great service, and you can have a little dermaplaning with that.
Yes. Okay. Let's do that, because when I asked you earlier what your favorite facial was, I look back in all the facials I've had over the years, and it always stands out that I always say an oxygen facial.
Okay.
I swear it took like 10 to 15 years off of my skin, and I was like, holy. My boyfriend at the time even said, he's like, look, I think you always look great, but Monica, you look 10 years younger. And it was just this plumping up from the oxygen.
Well, and that one we do a lot for events, because you'll look great the day you leave, but you actually continue to improve for days after you leave with that one. So like I had a gal yesterday, her daughter's getting married this weekend, and like I was like, this is what we need to do, because you'll look great, but this weekend you'll look amazing.
And how often would you recommend doing something like that?
So
6-8 weeks?
I'll tell you, my whole philosophy is to get you on the bed and figure out what you need that day.
Okay.
So, and I think internally we are all like that. Like any of the estheticians that you see, that's what's going to happen with them. They're going to, I recommend if you're book a customized facial. It's kind of like a time holder. And then what's
Figure
happening?
it out.
What's happening with your face today? How is the climate affecting your skin? How is your age? How is the maintenance that you've been doing? Because we have so many options, I don't expect you guys to be able to figure out what to schedule.
Sure.
But we'll sit down and really figure out what you need when you first walk in the door.
I'm glad that we brought this up, though, because I think there are some women and men alike that think, I've got to pick, and she did mention that you can go to elementalasthetics.com and you can book your service online. But I've even struggled with this, where I look and go, I think I might need this, but maybe it's this, but I don't want to waste their time, and I feel bad coming in and having them figure it out while I'm there when I know they have other people to get to. And I think a lot of you, do you agree with me that that's in our head, that we don't want to bother you because you got another person to get to? But that's good, because that's the consultation.
That's kind of our every experience, though. I think all of our facials are designed to be consultative, every single one.
Good.
Because, the skin that someone comes in, even someone I've seen 18 years, the skin they come in with this month versus in a month and a half, is completely different. So we have to address what's happening at the time.
Look at this. Richard just left a message for an appointment, hopefully this week. He says his wife is on vacation and she loves facials. What a good man. But you know what, Richard? I really want you to consider it. If you've never had one done, I know you're a big fan of my hubby. I had to introduce him to it, and he fell in love with it. He does it when he's on vacation, but I told him you got to bring vacation back home. You got to do it here as well.
Yeah.
So you know Tiffany Winkler, who owns Circle 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love how this community has just come together. She mentioned earlier, let's see, where's hers? Tiffany, where are you?
She mentioned
my favorite is the cool peel.
Yes.
She says, Melissa turned me on to that. I see her in many of the videos that we've been showing. She also just said that tomorrow is Thirsty Thursday, different cocktail. My favorite at Jennifer's place is the cool peel, though. It's amazing. Tell us about the cool peel.
So the cool peel, there's a type of laser called CO2, which is terrifying. Okay. So like a lot of people reference Samantha in Sex and the City having this like burned face. And I
don't think I saw that one.
I believe what she had done was a CO2.
Oh.
So Cool Peel is a company that actually took that crazy scary technology and dialed it way back. So they took the energy and the intensity of it and made it very light. So now it's like a light CO2 laser. And so what we do with this is we're basically using a little gas to just break up the tissue of the skin. And it helps with pigmentation or aging,
brown spots. That's what it's.
But it also does tightening and pores, and the cool part about the Cool Peel is it literally maybe has a day of downtime. You might be pink for one day, but the results hold for quite some time, and just the results are fantastic.
All the cool kids are doing it?
All the cool kids do the Cool Peel.
Tiffany's cool, so she's doing it. It's only a day's downtime. Now, you have to understand, there are people who have never introduced themselves to anything like that. They may have done a facial, or they may have gone in and just had their skin looked at, but it's just like this calming aspect of all the layers of things they put in. So to take someone from that and introduce them to what we're showing them in these videos, are they a little apprehensive? They hear the word laser, it scares them?
Well, like we have a laser facial with no downtime at all. It's called the Splendor X. So if you're somebody with kind of a ruddy texture or red texture or big pores, this would be a good way to test drive a laser and not feel completely overwhelmed by it.
Okay.
That one has no, like, it's just like, I would describe it as like spraying warm on the skin. And it works on the vascular system of the tissue, which helps with redness and ruddiness. And oh, there we go. Look at that.
My team, they're so good behind the scenes.
So it actually is, Pam that you see in the video, she calls it the runway facial.
Okay.
So it is.
We're runway ready after this?
That's right. No downtime. And so if you want to just dip your toe in the water of a laser that doesn't feel very scary, this is a great service to try. It's a facial service, and we actually have it on sale this month where you get the dermaplaning free.
Okay. And again, elementalasthetics.com. You can book your own service online if you want to, or you can give them a call. So here's the question, 314-279-6069. Here's my question. With what we just showed there, Splendor X or any of these other ones, what are they feeling while that's taking place? And the reason I ask that is I know there are some treatments out there where they say it feels like a rubber band smacking your face.
Not that one.
Okay, so that you would feel anything
It's
at
just
all?
warm.
Well, that's
literally
nice.
feels like you're being sprayed warmth on your skin. That one's lovely.
But what about the Cool Peel?
That one kind of hurts.
Let's just be real, right? I want to be real.
It is.
Like, what are you feeling in the hurt?
So it's so funny. The Cool Peel is actually hot. I'm not sure
why it's called cool?
Well, I do know why they called it cool. The reason they called it cool is the original CO2 was so hot. It was intensely hot. And you would have to numb and inject with numbing and all kinds of to get through like a full-fledged CO2, right? So they called it a Cool Peel because in comparison to that, it's nothing.
Okay.
Like we don't even numb for that one. We blow cold air on the tissue while we're doing it. It's actually comfortable, but if you've never done a laser, you're going to feel uncomfortable.
You wouldn't start with that, because I think if somebody tried to start with that, don't you think that they would be like, it's not for me?
I don't know if that's what they need, though.
Oh, well, that's true.
It's a good way to spend their money to get a great result, and with very little downtime. And that one is definitely one people go, oh my goodness, I love this. Like, this was
Because
a
of
great
the results
service.
afterwards?
I see this.
Tiffany loves it. She's laughing right now. She said it gives me results for a long time. It gets better as the time goes on.
Yes.
Okay, the cool peel does feel like that rubber band smack. That's what I wanted to know. But okay, again, so these pictures, what was done in these pictures?
So she did a combination of IPL, which is another way to get spots off, and Vivace, actually. So one thing that we do a lot of is layer facial. We layer lasers together so if you're going to have the downtime, let's just do them all at once.
Absolutely. Go big or go home.
We're going to numb you and do all the things. And then so we do a lot of layering of lasers.
Anne said, I was introduced to facials and dermaplaning, and they are amazing, and I'm hooked. She's so funny. She had never had one in her life, and we were just like, self-care is important.
Yes.
She went in, and then we were like, do the dermaplaning. Trust me, your skin will look so much better. She'll probably be coming to you because she's had to deal with rosacea, eczema, things like that.
Yeah.
And people are like, you think about it, you want to, and this is what we mentioned in the beginning, you want people to feel beautiful about themselves or handsome about themselves. Right. And if they hide under things, a lot of times it's because they never realize that this exists for them.
My husband fights rosacea. Oh, so this one is IPL. And cool peel, I think, again. Or
a layering?
Or it could be just cool peel. That one, it may be just cool peel. So you can see the difference in the pigmentation before and after. And she's young and beautiful. And
but that's a good point that you just brought up, because some people might think that they're waiting for these things as they age. You should probably you should start these things younger.
If you stay ahead of it, you will look better.
You won't have to fight the 10 years of what did you do to yourself.
You will not need surgery if you start early.
So what would you say, in their 20s?
I started when I was like 25.
Okay.
And that was just regular facials.
And somebody had asked actually a couple days ago when we were talking with Dr. Jensen on our Medical Monday, talking about the transitioning of aging skin. So that's the reason why it's important to go in and have a consultation, because you could bring your daughter or your granddaughter in, and what they're doing at 20, you're not doing at 50, 60, 70 years old.
I mean, I had a gal in yesterday that I've been working on her since she was 15 because of acne issues. Mm-hmm. And she's now in her 30s.
But it comes to you regularly.
Yeah.
And it's a habitual thing that you make. Okay, Richard, we just talked him into it. He said, I will do it.
Okay.
So the appointment that you said you were going to make, I want you and your wife to do together. Let's see. We had Diane earlier. Hats by Diane. We love her so much. She said that she needs to come in. I'm definitely ready for some time with Jennifer. So glad you have her with you to explain all the options. But she also brought up a good point, though. If it's not Jennifer, you have an incredible staff.
I mean, the amazing part of us is that we have highly trained people, highly experienced people. We do have one gal who's new, but she's amazing. So it doesn't matter if you're, she's just getting started or what, but she is also fantastically educated. This is the secret to having a great esthetician.
Can we just say how much we love Liz?
Oh my gosh, Liz is amazing.
And she's beautiful. I mean, I hadn't seen her in a while. I met her years back. She is part of a parish where I do my MC and auctioneering, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and I walked in to take those videos a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, she just glows, and her hair is beautiful.
Yeah.
She has the most beautiful hair. Liz, we love you.
Yes, she's amazing.
So your entire staff, though?
Yeah, I mean, they're just so sweet. Everybody is just...
They're funny,
going
too.
to nurture... Yes. Oh, yes. We have a
Who
very
was
good
it that I
time.
met at your front desk that was
Carrie.
doing the runway walk for me? She's beautiful as well.
That's who I had martinis with.
Oh, okay. There she is.
Yeah, 'cause
she just has this walk about her.
She owns a boutique in Chicago called Londo Mondo also, and so we did a fashion and martini podcast.
This is the staff that you're going to get a chance to meet and fall in love with again when you go in. Again, Elemental Esthetics. Yes, by the way, I do want to give a shout out. Somebody was mentioning our glowing candle. If you have not been to Yenology, we just found them. They are on Lindbergh in Frontenac, and this is their staple. This is called Feel the Wave, but we also have Feel the Myrrh that we're going to light for you. So yes, when you wonder what we have in the studio, we used to have this massive, humongous candle from Christopher's. But thank you. Feel the wave. I love it. Thinking about the ocean. So yes, thank you to Sarah at Yenology for that. Anybody? Okay, Debbie. So I want to say this. Well, somebody said it sounds expensive. So many facials to pick from. I wish I could have one, as I'll be 70 this November. You find what works for you.
Sure.
But people hear that and they're like, oh. I got to do this, I got to do this. Is it really expensive? As you just mentioned, there's many layers of things that people can choose from.
I mean, like if you come in and just do dermaplaning with a light peel, that runs around $90 to $100. And I know that's not cheap, but you will look different after. Like it's not like, it's very results oriented.
And I want to stress this, and I don't think you and I are going to be talking about this for months, but it is not something that you need to look at as a luxury. It is truly self-care. So when you think about what you're feeding the body, that also helps what it shows on the outside, your skin, your nails.
And good food is expensive.
Good, exactly. That's where I was going with it,
Yeah.
right? You think about, okay, I got to buy organic food. Well, can I bypass organic food? Or can I just start eating processed food? You will pay for it.
Right.
Not taking care of your skin.
The largest
pay for
organ
it.
of the body.
Yeah, amen. Exactly. There's the website, by the way. As you go through, you'll look at the different services. There's the dermaplaning we were mentioning. There's dermaplaning plus the light peel, because we talked about the layering. Marilyn said, what I'm wondering, Jennifer, to have a group who can do a spa event, like two having a massage, two having a facial, et cetera, at the same time frame.
So it depends. We only have one massage therapist, and so that makes it a little more difficult.
Well, so one person could be having
but
a massage.
you could do multiple facials.
Yeah.
Like we have multiple estheticians working at a time.
Well, and you have so many services that
We
you
do.
could have girls coming for like 4 or 5 girls. Maybe one goes in. We haven't even talked about IV hydration
I was just
therapy.
gonna say, they can
so
get an
you
IV.
you have what, 4, 5 chairs
We
lined
have
up there?
4 IV chairs. You could fit a couple of people in infrared sauna if comfortably. You can do 4 people in the salt room.
Yeah.
And then we do commonly have people that kind of float around the whole place and try all kinds of things at one time.
That's what I would recommend. There's the front, by the way, as you walk in. It's just really absolutely beautiful. But yeah, right there. Look at that. You could go into the salt room. Someone could go over it. There you are. I thought it was like 4 chairs. IV hydration therapy. Many different things that you could decide. I mean, I'll go with girlfriends and go, okay, you go get your massage, you go get your facial. I'll be over here.
Well, and
switch around.
I have to mention Jennifer Coppola, who does the best nails.
Yeah, and you said without water.
Super clean. So everything is super clean. Like if you will not be getting an infection at Elemental Aesthetics if you get a pedicure.
Ever.
Or if you get your nails done. She's just really conscientious. She's highly educated. She's been working longer than me. There she is. And she does lasers also. So she's dual educated and just a really, I mean, we call her Dr. Coppola. She's very, very smart.
Dr. Coppola. Yeah, I took a picture or a video, I think, of her room where the nails are. Richard wanted to know, so when you get the facial to get rid of the fluids under your eyes and chin, how long does it last before you have to do it again?
So that one's interesting because you look really good when you're done, but it actually takes a couple weeks to fully kick in. And then I would say it lasts around 6 weeks.
Okay.
However, if you have a lot of issues with that, I would recommend doing it every 2 weeks, a few times in a row. Now you'll hold much longer. So
Yeah, there's the nail room, by the way, that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So it will hold. Again, don't do it and then not do it for a long, long time.
Well, if you do it in succession, where you do it actually, that's another one we have. We have a 3-pack of those facials. It's called a cryo skin facial for $5.99 right now. And if you do it every other week, you'll now hold for several months afterwards. So you just need to some things you just have to work into. Lymph is tricky because you have to gently move it. And by gently moving it, it takes a few more times to really get your full effect.
Because it's been sitting there for a while.
That's right.
Jenny went back to the dermaplaning saying, yes, it's true. Your makeup will look so much smoother with dermaplaning. It's absolutely true. Again, if you just tuned in, be sure to watch this. This is, again, a live show, but then it lasts on the streaming. And that's the beauty of it all. You can go back and say, oh, I watched the first half hour. I had to run off. Let me watch the rest of this. ElementalAesthetics.com. You can make your own appointment online if you want to. If you want to call, it's 314-279-6069 like Richard did. He said he just left a message for he and his wife. They're located at 206-425 North New Ballas Road in the Creve Coeur area. Let's see. Can we have a Monica Maniac Day at your place? Yes, we'll just take over the entire place for the day. You like that, Marilyn? We can do that. Who else? So aging skin. So this is a good question. Debbie said nearly 70. Is it too old?
No. Oh my goodness. I have this client. I love her. And she is in her 80s and she looks 60. And she doesn't do anything huge. You know, it's like amazing what you can do. And I will say, if you've never had it done, the results from your first one, you're going to be like, oh,
why haven't I done this before?
Well, mostly because like you haven't done anything. So then the skin is like very responsive on that first treatment.
So I'm going to bring my mom into you, and she's in her mid-80s, and she loves facials as well. So no, you are never too old to do this and to start and then continue. It doesn't matter whether, as she said, 15 years old, or you continue to do it well into your 70s and 80s. So yes, do this for yourself. We'll make sure that we didn't miss any questions or comments. One more time, we're going to give you the information for you. I want you to think of birthdays. I want you to think of Christmas coming up. So many things. So in our next show, which is going to be every other Wednesday, you'll be seeing Jennifer along with me. We haven't had a chance to go deep into IV hydration therapy. You also do hormone replacement therapy. What is the woman's name that I met?
Tabitha.
Tabitha, I thought so. I should have remembered that because evidently that was going to be my name when I was a little girl. My brothers wanted me to be called Tabitha from, what is it, I Dream of Jeannie?
Oh, okay.
Yes, Tabitha. So Tabitha can take care of the hormone replacement therapy for men and women.
Yes.
Right?
And weight loss.
And weight loss, yes. So she'll handle all that.
Honestly, like, you know, I have something that my doctor can't quite figure out. She's just she has more time to be able to spend with you on, like, I mean, she's not gonna cure cancer, but she's definitely gonna dig a little deeper into your numbers and labs and figure out like how you can feel better.
What's her background?
She's a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
She actually came out of the ER world, so she has seen everything.
And as far as she mentioned weight loss, so we'll go into that because people I don't want you to think, oh, summer's over, I can start layering clothes on and hide. No, be ready, take care of yourself. But you do medicine-based and non-medicine-based weight
Correct.
loss
Yes.
consultations. So much to talk about. It's a beautiful place. I hope you've enjoyed the videos that we've shown you. If you, by the way, have any questions about the services that they offer as you take a look at their website today and you want us to address one in particular when she comes in a couple of weeks, let us know that in advance because we'll be doing all these different topics. And I'm going to get in before she comes in next. I'm going to just look at my skin and tell me what you want me to start with.
I don't know. I always say start with a facial.
Yes.
Because I want to like touch and get your makeup off and see what the status quo of your skin is now and then come up with
enhance
then
natural
come up with
beauty.
A plan.
Yes,
Yeah.
a plan of attack. It's so very true. So we mentioned today we want to enhance your natural, authentic self and just make you the best version of yourself. And that's what they're doing. Love this partnership. ElementalEsthetics.com. Take a look at the website. And as Richard has already done, he's called to make an appointment for he and his wife. I want you to do it. Diana said she wanted to get in. Some of you have already been going to her. I love the fact that this community knows her community. 314-279-6069. And one of the people in that community is Tiffany Winkler, where we're going to be celebrating our 400th show. I'm going to talk about that right after the break, and we're going to read from, how about we do 100 Days to Freedom from Shame? That's the devotional we'll wrap up with when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And in that, it really falls right in place with what Jennifer said. You got to get in, you got to feel, take the makeup off. Let's just look at who you are. That's what I do in the design world when we're doing custom clothes. I never really understand people buying their clothes online. It's like you can't feel the material, you can't see the fit. It's much better from a fashion standpoint to do that in person. Okay, before we do our devotional, 400 shows. The actual day for that celebration will be October 4th. The 400th show, I'm told, is September 30th, but we're going to do our big celebration at the Watering Hole, which is affiliated with Circle 6. There she is. See how she glows? It's thanks to Jennifer, evidently, and the Cool Peel. So if you have not been there yet, it's right there off of 94. If you're going from Defiance and you're acting like you're going to travel in towards Augusta, it's right there at that turn. You probably know it. We used to always say it was right where the biker bars are. Well, right before that, the green building, where a lot of you over the years probably got your bikes at the Kickstand Bike Shop to get onto the Katy Trail. So Larry and Tiffany took that over. It's incredible. They have the #1 bull in the country. So it's all about genetics. That's why their meat is so amazing. You can go in and enjoy it. They can make it for you. Or, I should say, or you can go in and buy it for your own grilling, which is what we've done. I love for you to go into the market side. But that day, I want you to enjoy some music, some food. We'll have drinks. We'll laugh together. And we'll celebrate optimism and positivity. 400 shows that we've been doing for you with Tiffany. Now, we are going to have that as a ticket. And the reason for this is we are raising money for first responders. So I'm calling it badges, bourbon, beer, beef with your besties. It's all B's that we're going to do that night. We have not put the tickets on sale just yet. Tiffany and I will work on that today. So a lot of you have been asking if you can buy the tickets yet. Hold tight, but just hold the date. It's the save the date, October 4th. And again, it'll be from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Next Thursday, mark on your calendar to join us at the Landing Hub, which is in Pacific, Missouri. It's a boutique hotel that's been there for 3 years, had no idea that it was there, and it has a really cool aviation theme. I've shown you some pictures over the last couple of weeks of the inside. When you walk in, there are all of these cool pictures and different aspects that, again, are tied to aviation. A really cool little airplane that the kids probably want to try to climb into. Don't do that. And then you go through the different rooms. There are rooms there that the kids can get into and sleep in that are pods from Star Wars. I mean, it's just amazing. So whether it's a staycation that you want to do, or I really want you to start thinking about events, corporate events, maybe you have micro weddings, the pool that's just outside of the Landing Hub, I'm not sure if they've closed that yet. I hope not. Maybe they'll keep it open for a couple more weeks since we're going to have our show there. I hope so. We'll be there from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And then right after that, we're going to head right down the street and go to the Cigar Vault, which is affiliated with the Landing Hub. Jennifer and Shane own both of those. So if you've got a friend or someone that you're involved with that's in love with cigars, it is a really cool place on the inside, and they work with more boutique style cigar makers. And right there where they said the Cigar Vault welcomes the Real Monica Adams Show, right underneath it is a vault. It's an old bank vault, and that's where the humidor is. Super cool place. So again, that's next Thursday, 4:30 to 6 on the 12th. I'd love to see you there. All right, 8:12. Let's wrap up our show with our devotional, 100 Days to Freedom. They're from Stephen Arterburn. This one's from Shane. We haven't done this in a while. This one is day 28, and it's called First Place. Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So this is Matthew 6, verse 33. And as I do this, there's actually a prayer breakfast taking place right now at the Family Arena in St. Charles. My husband's there. Gordon Montgomery, who you have seen on the show in the past, I know he's there. And I think it's a golfer this year. I don't know which professional golfer is speaking, but in the past they had Darryl Strawberry speak to them. Can't wait to get a recap. I'll tell you a little bit about that tomorrow morning. The sports page is one of the most read sections of the newspaper for a lot of men and women, or the news website now. Many readers want to check out the standings first to learn how their team fared in the latest game and whether they hung on to or moved any closer to first place. We told you if you turned the game off, the Cardinals did win, took 12 innings to do so. Is it a little bit too late? I don't know. They could still maybe make it in, and they're pretty far out of the standings, but a lot of you look for the score first. What happened in the game, though? First place matters in sports. It matters in our Christian walk, too, though. Jesus made this clear when he spoke our verse for today. He said that God's provision in our lives depends on us making his kingdom our priority. Notice there's no qualifier. He doesn't say, seek the kingdom of God above all else on Sundays. That's what many people do, though. He also doesn't say, seek the kingdom above all else when you're feeling shame and are trying to get back on God's good side. But many people do that as well. Don't shame yourself if that's you. He's talking about seeking God's kingdom every minute of every day. So what does this mean for you? It means putting God in first place as king of your life. It means considering how every decision you make will affect God's purposes and then your own Christian witness. And then you make your choice accordingly, even if it's uncomfortable. You know, that's really the key. Anyone can seek the kingdom of God when it's comfortable. So the real test is what we do when it isn't. Richard Foster said, the person who does not seek the kingdom first does not seek it at all. Let that sink in. Here's today's prayer. Lord Jesus, you made my life's mission clear with these words. Help me not to shy away from the challenge that they contain, but to embrace it and make it my life's passion. So these devotionals we also read from Jesus Calling. We thank one of our viewers, Marilyn, for giving that to us. The books, again, just to kind of bring it all home to make you feel a little bit better about your natural self. Again, thank you to Jennifer Warmann-Bloss being our guest today. We'll see her in a couple of weeks going more in depth about some of the other great services. Again, they have really elevated up. It's a beautiful space. I can't wait for you to get in. ElementalEsthetics.com. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having
And to
me.
all of you, thank you for all the questions. You were very active today. A lot of questions, a lot of comments. Keep them coming in. If you watch on replay, do hashtag replay. I'll make sure Jennifer gets tagged in it so she can answer your questions. And if you have any for our next show, get them to us a little early. I hope you have a beautiful day as we've hit midweek. Get out, enjoy the free, natural red light therapy.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful today. Put your sunscreen on, though. That's very important as well. As you enjoy your day, remember, get out of your own comfort zone. Say hi to somebody new. Give them a compliment. Tell them that their beautiful skin is glowing, because that is what we need more of in the world, to be kind. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day.